Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Barbie. Now, this movie is from 2023 and it stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Now, before we get into all things
Kids, Mojo, Doja, Casa House,
I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that. Then we're going to come back and discuss. I don't know about you, but this movie low-key bored me to death. How do you feel about it?
yeah, it took a long time to get where she needed to go.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this movie. Now, this movie was directed by Greta Gerwig. She is mostly known for movies like Little Women and Lady Bird. But to mostly skip all the pleasantries and just get into the pros and cons of this film, I would much rather discuss what I did and didn't like.
And also what I did and didn't like watching this movie as a 13-year-old girl with my mom. To start off with the pros, I thought the movie itself, it looked really nice. I think their costumes and the houses were on point. It looked like a real dream house and whatnot.
She's correct. Visually, this movie looked incredible to me. It was so hyper feminine and just so pink. The art direction, the set design, there is so much attention to detail. To not only the set, but the wardrobe, the hair, the makeup, the aesthetic was instant nostalgia. For any girl who had a Barbie dream house, a Barbie doll, Barbie Jeep, Barbie phone, this was so relatable. This movie literally looks like a toy. We don't get this much attention to detail in movies anymore. Could you relate to the Barbies? How do you feel about a Barbie
You see,
doll?
myself personally, I didn't have any Barbies growing up. I usually had, my mom got me Monster High dolls. The only thing that I had Barbie related, I had maybe one or two dolls, but that was pretty much it. Only thing I did do referring to Barbie growing up, I watched the Barbie Dreamhouse show. That was one of my favorite shows, still is.
Well, I had a Barbie phone and it was everything in my room. I had a Barbie phone, I had a little Barbie Corvette. It was all Barbie everything when I was coming up, but Monster High it is. Now, I also felt like Margot Robbie as well as Ryan Gosling did a great job here as Barbie and Ken. Getting into our Barbie, Margot did a great job giving us those Barbie mannerisms. Once again, that attention to detail with her not actually drinking or eating anything. You know, her doing that. We used to do this with your Barbies and they would walk to the car or walk to that it was giving me, when you get to play pretend with your Barbie. I thought those things were really appealing. What about you?
I also thought the exact same thing. I think the no water in her dream house, her literally drinking air. I thought everything was a really nice touch. Her jumping off her roof, floating into her car.
And even though this was a Barbie affair, I feel like Ryan Gosling stole the show. Even though he was villainized, it was done in the best way. And I found myself enjoying the film the most when he was on screen. Anytime I laughed even a little bit, it was because of him. He was really great with the one-liners, the body language, really hamming it up in the best way. I feel like he really understood the role and the type of movie that he was in. And this movie also reminded me of that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Ryan Gosling actually being able to sing. I always put him in the category of just strictly being a great actor. I normally forget that he has some pipes, and this movie reminded me. What did you think about Weird Barbie?
She had a lot going on. I don't think that she really needed to be shown as much as they showed her in the movie. I understand that she was the Barbie that got played with a little too much. Her hair's cut off. She's always in splits.
I understood Barbie. I actually kind of liked Weird Barbie because I had a lot of weird Barbies. I was a destructive kid. You know, I liked my little Barbie stuff, like the Barbie Jeep, the Corvette, the house, but I didn't care too much for my actual Barbies. So I was that kid who tried to, you know, cut all my Barbies' hairs off and, you know, burn them up, try to flush it down the toilet, just all kind of unnecessary weird stuff. I was that kid who was turning Barbie into a weird Barbie.
Well, I wasn't. I took care of my Barbies. I never was allowed a lighter. I don't know how you got your hands onto one.
Let's move on. So was there anything else that you liked about the movie? Because I'm pretty much done. I'm ready to get into these cons.
I mean, I liked that there was like a black Barbie president. And
Issa Rae?
Yeah, I love her. She can act.
She can act?
Yeah.
All right. But you like the black Barbie president?
Yeah,
they had her in a lot of the trailers. Like, I kind of like low-key felt like Issa was going to be in the movie a little bit more. I just kind of felt like she was a cliff note in the movie and we didn't really get to see her as much. It kind of felt like a little pandering. You know, we got a little black president Barbie, but you know, it was cool. I was happy to see a chocolate Barbie too. Yeah. Any more pros at all?
Not really.
Let's get to the cons. Okay, the first con for me is that watching the trailer for this movie, I really felt like this was more of a family-friendly situation and that this was something that was geared towards both adults and children. Watching the movie, I felt like it was message-driven and I'm not really totally sure who this movie was for. Did you feel like this movie was made for your demographic or, you know, a younger child's demographic or from my age group? Who do you feel like this movie was for?
Most definitely wasn't for your age group. I think...
It wasn't for me?
No.
I'm old?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
I just think that targeted to a more of a 20 to 14, 13 age group.
But that's you though. Did you enjoy this movie?
I mean, I thought it was cool.
You thought it was cool?
Yeah.
Well, I felt like it was really mixy and I felt like I got played with that trailer because watching it, I thought we were going to get a totally different movie. I felt like this movie was so freaking boring. It looked good, it looked amazing, but it was so boring. I found myself just wanting it to be over. I felt like it kept going on and on. I kept looking and we had more time left. This movie could have been shorter and I just expected more. I never expected to be bored here. Did you have the time of your life with this movie?
The first half, yeah. I thought whenever they went to Earth, when they went to Earth.
When I went to Earth, baby.
No, the movie just kind of lost me. They kept trying to just throw things in there to make sure that it makes sense, and it really didn't. I thought that the script could have went a little different, but that's just my opinion.
I don't know, I just feel like I expected something different, and not just because we're basically getting into gender norms and role reversal here. Ken is definitely that neglected woman in the relationship who just wants to be noticed by Barbie. He literally doesn't have a good day unless Barbie speaks to him. Meanwhile, Barbie couldn't care less. She completely ignores him and would much rather put all of her efforts into her day-to-day perfection that is this utopian Barbie land that never seems to include Ken, leaving him lost, emasculated, longing for companionship and equal attention from Barbie. Now, all Ken wants, as well as all of the other Kens, is autonomy and purpose. And I really like the idea of that at first because Ken has always and forever just solely been an extension of Barbie. He's always just pretty much been an accessory, which is why, you know, it would explain why we know where all the Barbies live, but we have no idea what the Kens do outside of just looking for gratification from the other Barbies. But once we get into Barbie's storyline and her whole dream of this perfect utopian society, what she feels like she represents in the real world, and we go on this journey of flat-foot self-discovery and her becoming this new rendition of a Barbie who doesn't really want to be a Barbie anymore. I really like the storyline that we got before we ever went into the real world. When it gets into the real world, the movie slows down a whole lot for me as far as character development and my interest. How did you feel about Barbie going into the real world and her trying to, you know, link up with the sad person who was playing with her? What did that do for you in the movie?
You see, I feel like it was unnecessary because they added the daughter in the movie when she didn't really need to be there. if it was the mom making Barbie sad in the first place, I feel like it should have just been focused on the mom.
Just been the mom is a really great point. I'm gonna get into why when I get into their relationship, but this movie could have worked perfectly fine with the mom adult character. We did not need the daughter. But let's get into another con, which was the representation of motherhood here. With the 2001's A Space Odyssey opening, smashing of the baby dolls, there's more to life than just being a mom and being a wife. Barbie representing women's ability to accomplish anything, be anything. Barbie and Ken not having any reproductive parts to ever actually reproduce any children. And then we have pregnant Barbie Midge, literally being undesirable, in a corner. No one ever interacts with her. Though we know that she's meant to be yet another Barbie that's been deemed problematic and discontinued, she is never a part of any conversations. She's shunned. Hell, even gay Ken, aka Alan, had few lines. The message to me was, we clearly don't desire or shouldn't desire to be mothers, and we are not endorsing motherhood at all with this movie. How did you feel about Alan? What was Alan supposed to be?
Another unnecessary character. We could have.
You wanted Alan there?
Alan, he was cool, but if it came to it, I don't think he wasn't necessary. He played a nice role though. He was.
You think Alan was funny?
No, no.
What do you think was Alan's sexuality?
He was gay.
Why you whispering? Say it. Alan was gay?
Yeah, he was
What
gay.
makes you think Alan was gay?
Because he's Alan, Nobody else. It was the only male dude that had
a different name.
Yeah,
and
different name.
Not a matching Barbie.
No,
so
he wasn't a Ken. He was
Alan.
Yeah, he was Alan.
What do you think this movie was saying about moms? Did this seem like a message of, it's just as important to be a mom and be a mother as it is to do your everyday other job? Did they make motherhood feel championed in this movie?
I mean, it is a doll. Only children play with dolls, so I don't see why you would be trying to send out the message of motherhood or being pregnant.
So you didn't like Midge being here?
She was another unnecessary character.
I felt like Midge served a purpose here for them to ignore her. It's like we don't want any attention. We want you to show that she's shunned because we don't care about mothers and pregnancy and being a wife and doing things like that. It's all about being, a business woman and Barbie and hear me roar. I'm a mom. I've been pregnant, right?
Apparently.
Is that not important?
I mean, yes, but
it better be important because I did it.
Well, not for children, though.
It's a big baby.
Not for children, though.
This movie isn't for children.
Well, you do have a point there.
Mm-hmm. Yet another thing I couldn't stand about this movie, that tired ass relationship between America Ferrera and her daughter, this mean, angsty, unlikable, just of a teenage daughter. I hated it. I hated their relationship and their dynamic and the lack of development that they had going on there. I understand that she is supposed to be in that, gray area of being, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. She's supposed to be in that little preteen gray. All I need is time, a moment that is mine. It's Britney Spears. It's okay. She's supposed to be in that gray area. But when did that mean we become a little asshole and just be downright disrespectful? And then they didn't even give us a reason why she was that way. Even though we're supposed to know why and, just automatically assume these things, for what their relationship was supposed to represent and her initially being the reason that Barbie thought she was going there, we needed something with her. I really didn't like the daughter character. How did you feel about it?
I mean, I already said what I felt. She was unnecessary. Like my mom said, she was unlikable. She was just there. Another Alan.
Oh, not another Alan, another Midge. Not even just there. I feel like with just stuff like ageism and you're not really affording to maybe play with Barbies to a certain age. I even know now, like, men, they can get into, you know, things like Pokemon trading cards and anime statues and certain little things that some people would tie into childhood things. But once you're a woman of a certain age, you're expected to not gravitate towards stuff like Barbies or care. So if we could have gotten deeper into the mom's mind, you know, why she was feeling the way she was, it was all very surface level as far as, you know, oh, I'm unhappy with my job, I'm unnoticed in this male dominated field, and I have a daughter that hates me. Yeah, but we take something like that, that's this tit for tat negative relationship. As soon as they begin their little journey to go to Barbie land, it literally disappears, and they're automatically best friends out of nowhere, and there was no explanation, nothing to lead up to that. Like, anything?
I already said. I felt like the daughter, she was unnecessary, and then the thing whenever they go to the Barbie land and they're just
hunky-dory,
best of pals. The only reason that they added the daughter, it was so like she could, you know, that little clip where she tears down Barbie.
Who says that? You talk to people like that. You dress in all black and then some peak bubbly. First of all, a stranger. You know, there was a whole lot of just, we're just gonna go with the flow here. We're not gonna ask any questions. If this grown ass woman walks up to me at school and says she's Barbie, I'm just gonna believe and run with it. But that's neither here or there. I'm not gonna be that picky. But no kid talks like that. I told you not to go over there like that. You talking like that at school? You shutting adults down like that?
No.
Better not be. Just with the mom being the main reason that Barbie was there in the first place, we needed a whole lot more than for them to shoe in that fake inspirational monologue, a wake-up call for all the other Barbies who are being snapped out of this instant mind control that happened with the Kens. It just should have been a whole lot more. When Ken takes over Barbie Land and introduces the patriarchy, submissiveness, it was real close to Don't Worry Darling. It's the point that I felt like you really see how much both the Barbies and Kens have in common. When we get into Barbie returning back to Barbie Land, I thought that we would get into a compromise and maybe the Barbies and the Kens seeing the error in their ways and conjoining. That's not what we got. What did you think was going to happen when they went back to Barbie Land? Because how did you feel about the way that Barbie was treating Ken?
She was just kind of tossing him to the side, you know, having girls' day and whatnot.
Did you feel like Barbie gave a damn about Ken? No. At any point in the movie, did you feel like she cared about Ken? Because, you know, at the end, she did apologize for, you know, how she felt about him, but the feelings were never, like, reciprocated. She never, it's like, I never liked you. She gave him the future treatment. She never, ever liked Ken. Like, how did you think that Barbie Land could have been better?
You know, I thought, you know, this is me, I thought that when she got back, talk, you know, the Kens would get some houses and some respect, and the Barbies, you know, everything will all come together. But no, we got Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House. That's what we got when we got back there. So.
But that made sense because Ken, he's never had any sense of self. Everybody, for the most part, got a taste of their own medicine and got to see things from everybody's perspective. Have a strong desire to matter, have a distinct role to play in Barbie Land, be self-aware, admired, loved, all while contributing to where they live. Both the Kens and the Barbies just simply want to be important individuals. We don't find any common ground or really compromise once they use, you know, their bravado and their egos to trick them, and we vote for Barbie Land to be Barbie Land. Instantly, everything just simply goes back to the way that it was, and we put Weird Barbie and certain other Barbies into a higher position. I thought that they were going to do more, but it's still like, no, we just slapped the Kens right back into their place. How did you feel about, you know, the deal that the Kens got in the end? Did you feel like it was fair?
I felt like the ending was stupid. I feel like they could have did something better with it. You know, her saying, oh, I feel like it shouldn't be the same. And she, oh, yeah, you can have that. And just put the Kens right back where they were. Everything, it didn't fit in with me. I felt like maybe they would have combined, like, the two worlds and
the kingdom and the Barbie.
Yeah. and maybe the Barbies that wanted to go to Earth could go to Earth. The Barbies that wanted
None
to
of
stay.
the other Barbies wanted to go to Earth, except for, stereotypical Barbie, which is like the next thing I want to talk about that I did not like. Once Barbie, we didn't even get into that freaking portal. The portal was tired. The whole thing with Mattel was tired and just really unnecessary. It didn't flow. I hated the way that we had Will Ferrell be the lead CEO or whatever of his company. We kind of opened a little dialogue with Barbie saying, can I meet the female CEO? Can I meet the female, CFO? It's like, no, we're all men, even though we are all men here. We are still representing for the women in her, really identifying what's so wrong with that. We don't really expand on that at all. We just have them running around just being idiots, not able to put Barbie back in the box. But with Barbie's decision to be a real Barbie, why did she want to be a real Barbie? Why did she want to be a real Barbie? Once Barbie goes to the real world, nothing good happens to her. Nothing good. I didn't feel like anything spoke to Barbie for her to be like, oh, it's just so awesome here. We are objectified. We find out, what people really think about us. We are arrested. Like, what was so great about, did you feel like she had a reason to want to be a real woman? Now, of course, Barbie feels like if I get to be more than just a doll and I get into the real world, then I can really help people in real time in a way that I can't here, just being in this fake utopian world. Did you feel like Barbie should have decided to go to the real world?
I mean, it was her choice in the end, and I felt like she just didn't want to do like the same thing over and over again. And that was pretty much it. So I felt like that she wanted to go to Earth, so I felt like she wanted to go to Earth so that she can, do something different with her life.
But I wish we would have saw like that brief moment when she notices the old woman on the bench and she's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And she goes, I know. If we could have had more interactions like that. I know they tried to forcefully tie in Ruth, the originator of the Barbie doll, and that whole fever dream type thing with the little sequence and her showing her what it is to be a real person. That didn't do anything for me. I really didn't care. I felt like they could have done something else with that.
You know what they could have done with that? They could have seen, whenever she walked into that room, it could have been like Barbies being made or her something else. They just threw that old woman in there and just ran with it throughout the movie. I guess. I don't.
Or for one, isn't the fish out of water story that I thought we were getting of self-discovery with both Barbie and Ken having a revelation after visiting the real world. We sit through this agenda-driven, feminist, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I can't even kiss Ken, I have no desire to. On the nose dialogue, all these shoehorned, forced moments. A lot of stuff here felt so forced. It didn't really feel fun and free flowing. All the talk of patriarchy, like have a sip of wine every time somebody says the patriarchy, and you're just gonna be drunk. Just that, and then we get into a lot of songs being sung. Like, as I stated, I love, hearing Ryan Gosling sing, but the dance sequences, the scenes on the beach, the back and forth with the Kens once they're at war, those things went on for a minute. I was just done with the movie before I ever intended to be. What about you?
I was so excited, and it made me so sad because we waited for this movie. It was so much build up for this movie just to watch it and be disappointed.
I maybe I'm not the demographic. This didn't really speak to me. I never looked for self-validation within a Barbie doll. I just strictly played with my Barbie doll. So I don't know, maybe this was somebody else. Was this movie for you?
Somewhat.
Was it? This movie was not for us. This movie was not for us. If this movie was for you, drop down in the comments and tell us why and why you felt like this movie was so amazing. Well, you guys, that was my review for Barbie, our review for Barbie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Anything you want to say to people?
Subscribe.
What you want to do? What?
Subscribe.
Say it like you mean it.
Subscribe.
Oh, okay. Please subscribe, like, and share this video if you care to. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will definitely see you next time. Bye.
Commissioner!